Since COVID struck the whole planet a little under a year ago now, there has been very little athletic competition going on, and for a while it seems like there has been nothing to look forward to, as almost all of our favourite events have been either postponed or cancelled altogether, with a few exceptions such as the London Marathon and Impossible Games. So I thought by making this video it would hopefully lift your spirits slightly and give you something to look forward to. So here are 5 runners that you should look out for at the Tokyo Olympics. Jacob Kiplimo. This may seem like a rather obvious inclusion to some of you, as Jacob Kiplimo catapulted himself into the limelight over the past 12 months, rightfully putting his name up there amongst the greatest runners in the world. For a long time now, Kiplimo has looked like a great prospect in running, as he came third in the 2016 Under-20 IAAF World Championships 10,000 metre at the age of just 15 years old. Yes, you heard that right, 15. To add to this, he also competed in the 2016 Rio Olympic Games that same year and recorded a time of 30 minutes and 30 seconds for a 5k to place 11th in his heat, making him the youngest ever competitor for Uganda at the Olympics while still being only 15 years old. And just a year later, at 16 years old, he produced a stellar performance to win the 2017 Under-20 IAAF World Cross Country Championships, which was Uganda's first ever medal at the event. He even beat Joshua Cheptegei in the 2019 Ugandan Cross Country Championships, aged just 18 years old. However, even after all this, not many people knew about the upcoming star until this year, where he challenged and defeated Jakob Ingebrigtsen at the Diamond League 3000 metre race in Rome with a time of 7:26, the fastest 3k since Kenenisa Bekele ran 7:25 back in 2007. This puts him as the 8th fastest time ever for the 3000 metres, with second place Jakob's time being the 9th fastest ever. And only 1 month later, he went on to win the 2020 Half Marathon World Championships in a time of 58:49, setting both a Ugandan and championship record. This set him up as one of the favourites going into the Valencia Half Marathon, where he lined up against the likes of Kandie. Kiplimo ended up coming second in the race behind Kandie, who happened to break a world record in the process, showing that is what it took to overcome Jacob Kiplimo. While coming in second, Kiplimo also broke a world record, along with Kipruto and Mutiso, which puts Kiplimo as second on the all-time half marathon list. After all these amazing performances, Jacob Kiplimo is now one of my favourites to challenge in both the 5,000 metres and the 10,000 metres at the Olympic Games, with only Joshua Cheptegei standing in his way, in my opinion. Yohann Kejelcha. For a number of years now, Yohann Kejelcha has been well known in the running scene, and I find it hard to believe that he's still only 23 years old. Kejelcha first broke onto the international scene back in 2013 at just 15 years old, where he registered a staggering time of 7:53 for the 3000 metres at the 2013 World Youth Championships. This amazing performance was unsurprisingly enough to come out with a gold medal, but this was only the start for the young prodigy. Just a year later, at 16 years old, he lined up at the Ostrava Golden Spike Elite alongside the likes of Nick Willis and Bernard Lagat. But this didn't throw Kejelcha off his game, as he went on to finish second, improving on his 3k time from last year with an unbelievable 7:36, and in doing so beating both Lagat and Willis. Later on that year, Yohann also won gold at the 2014 World Junior Championships, crossing the line in 13:25 for 5,000 metres, as well as competing in the Youth Olympic Games later that summer, where he bettered his 3,000 metre time once again, this time by a small margin of 0.31 seconds, which was enough to win him the gold medal. These outstanding times were also enough to see him leave 2014 as World Youth Leader for the 3,000 and 5,000 metres, as well as the World Junior Leader for the 3,000 metres. And if you thought he would take his foot off the gas in 2015, you would be wrong, as he ran a solid season opener to say the least, winning the African Junior Championship 5,000 metres with a time of 14:31. Although this was not as fast as usual, he once again regained his speed not long after, with a victory at the Prefontaine Classic in Eugene, where he outkicked Galen Rupp and Edwin Saul to strive for victory with a time of 13:10 for 5k. But just a week on from that, he proved he was capable of going even faster, as he earned his first Diamond League victory in Rome, and in doing so setting a new personal best and world leading time of 12:58, which is also the first time he broke the 13-minute barrier. However, this new personal best didn't last long, as on the 11th of September 2015, He once again set a new world-leading time and personal best of 12:23 at the Diamond League event in Brussels. Following on from this, he started 2016 in the perfect way, winning gold in the 2016 World Indoor Championships with a time of 7:57 for the 3,000 metres. Now fast forward to 2018, where he competed in the Diamond League final for the 5,000 metres, where he placed third with a time of 12:48, making him the 7th fastest 5,000 metre runner in history. But there is still much more to come from Yohann Kejelcha, as he showed when he set a new indoor mile record on the 3rd of March 2019, overtaking El Garouge with a time of 3:47.01. And still at the age of only 23 years old, I believe Kejelcha can once again reach new heights at the Tokyo 2021 Olympics, and I think he has a capability to push Joshua Cheptegei all the way for that illustrious gold medal. Jakob Ingebrigtsen. Once again, this may seem like an obvious inclusion, but I feel that I simply cannot leave out Jakob Ingebrigtsen. After breaking onto the scene in 2018 at just 17 years of age, Jakob Ingebrigtsen has continued to defy expectations of everybody and set the bar higher and higher for himself every year, to the point that placing 4th and 5th in the 1,500 and 5,000 metres in the World Championships, aged just 19 years old, was viewed as a disappointment for both him and his fans. For the eagle-eyed viewers amongst you, Jakob may have come onto your radar when he first arrived onto the European scene, as he won gold in the 2016 European Junior Cross Country Championships at the age of 16 years old. The next summer, he would then go on to win gold in both the 5,000 and 3,000 metre steeplechase at the Under-20 European Championships, and once again win the European Junior Cross Country Championships. However, it would be the next summer where he really found his stride at the 2018 European Championships, where he defied all belief to place first in both the 1,500 metres and 5,000 metres at the age of 17 years old. Yes, 17 years old. Jakob was out there competing against the best runners in Europe and coming out victorious just a year after he could leave school. He also continued his streak to win the European Junior Cross Country Championships for a third successive time. To the surprise of nobody, Jakob would go on to win the European Junior Cross Country Championships a fourth time. But to this day, Jakob hasn't let up, as he continues to break multiple records before he even turns 21 years old. He holds the Norway National 5K record, the European 1,500 metres record, and is the youngest ever person to break the 4-minute mile barrier, as well as being the youngest pacer in the Breaking 2 project, where Eliud Kipchoge broke the 2-hour marathon for the first time ever. Need I go on? At the age of just 20 years old, Jakob will only get better, and he'll be looking to challenge the world's best in Timothy Cheruiyot and Joshua Cheptegei at the 2021 Olympics. Stuart McSwine. Up until this year, Stuart McSwine has been a complete unknown to almost everyone, as he has failed to produce anything truly special in his career up until now. And I'm not saying that Stuart wasn't a good runner, it just goes to show how meteoric his rise has been over the past year, to the point where he's begun to embarrass his former times and achievements. If you go back just 3 years, Stuart competed in the Gold Coast Australian Championships, placing third in both the 5,000 metres and 3,000 metre steeplechase at the age of 22 years old, as well as competing in the Commonwealth Games just 2 months later, where he placed 5th in the 5,000 metres and 11th in the 10,000 metres. You would never expect McSwine to reach the heights that he has this year. 22 years old is not old for a runner by any stretch of the imagination, but if you compare some of the other runners in this video, where they were or will be at that age, without a doubt they would be expected to win both of those races. A year on from this in 2019, Stuart competed in the 2019 World Championships 1,500 metres, where he recorded a time of 3:37 and finished 21st in the semi-finals, as well as the 5,000 metres where he finished in a time of 13:30, placing him 12th in the competition. Sure, this was an improvement on his previous outing in the World Championships, where he placed 40th in his heat of the 3,000 metre steeplechase at the 2017 London World Championships, but nobody expected what was to happen next. Towards the end of 2019, McSwine started to show glimpses of what was to come, as he destroyed the rest of the field at the Zato Pek 10,000 metre race in Melbourne, capping off his fantastic season with an Australian 10,000 metre record time of 27:23, beating his personal best by almost 30 seconds. But the following year was when McSwine really hit his stride, as right off the bat he finished first in the Melbourne Track Classic 5,000 metres with a decent time of 13:38. Then fast forward to August, where he comfortably strided to victory in the 5,000 metres and recorded a fantastic time of 30 minutes and 9 seconds while doing so. not to mention how he ran the last 4 laps of this race in just 4 minutes and 1 second. He also proved his speed over the 3,000 metres as well, while recording an amazing time of 7:28 to break yet another national record. But his peak so far is without a doubt his blistering 1,500 metres at the Diamond League meeting in Doha. This was a race where he broke away from the rest of the field very early on and maintained that right to the finish. As a result of his bold tactics, he finished with at least 30-metre gap between him and the rest of the field and an Australian record-breaking time of 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Over the past year, Stuart McSwine has proved he is able to compete in a wide range of races, and he is a force to be reckoned with in any distance from 1,500 to 10,000 metres. Joshua Cheptegei. Our last but definitely not least inclusion in this video is Joshua Cheptegei. Joshua's been right up there with the world's best runners ever since he caught everybody's eyes at the 2017 World Championships, where he finished in second place behind the one and only Mo Farah. However, you can go all the way back to 2016 to find his first inclusion in the Olympic Games, where he ended up coming 8th in the 5,000 metres and 6th in the 10,000 metres at the age of just 19 years old. Just 1 year on from that, Cheptegei competed in his first World Cross Country Championships, where I'm sure you've seen he set off bravely and just ran out of fuel in the latter stages of the race, which resulted in him dropping from first position all the way down to 20th. That was the same summer in which he pushed Mo Farah all the way in the 10,000 metre race at the 2017 World Championships, as I've already mentioned. Luckily, this regained some of his confidence and he bounced back the following summer, where he won gold in both the 5,000 metres and 10,000 metres at the 2018 Commonwealth Games. And from this point forwards, Joshua Cheptegei became unstoppable. First off, Cheptegei learned from his old mistakes as he finally received his gold medal in the 2019 World Cross Country Championships, something that could have and possibly should have been his 2 years earlier if he'd ran the race more sensibly. He then went on to go one better at the 2019 World Championships 10,000 metres as he outkicked one of the other athletes in this video, Yohann Kejelcha, to finish first with a superb world-leading time of 26:48. However, there was still more to come from Joshua that season as he shocked the world, overtaking Leonard Patrick Coleman to become the fastest 10,000 metre road runner in history. In doing so, he averaged a pace of 2 minutes and 40 seconds per kilometre and beat the record by 6 seconds. However, this record has since been overtaken by Ronek's Kiplimo. Cheptegei's 2019 season may seem good, but his 2020 season was arguably the best in history. Going into 2020, Joshua had bags of confidence off the back of a very impressive 2019 season. And this showed as on the 16th of February he travelled to Monaco, where he would go on to set a new 5 km world record on the road in an outstanding time of 12:51. This amazing season opener would serve as a sign of what was to come in the future. After the worldwide pandemic struck, Cheptegei would manage to put a smile on many people's faces, coming back with a bang, and by doing the impossible as he nabbed the 5,000 metre world record off Kenenisa Bekele by just under 2 seconds, once again in Monaco. But more was still to come as he arrived in Valencia with a plan to break the 10,000 metre world record, much to the disappointment of Bekele. And he executed this plan perfectly, as he did in fact break the 10,000 metre world record, defeating the great Bekele by a whole 6 seconds while using the same tactics he put into action back in 2005. This would result in an out-of-the-world time of bang on 26 minutes and 11 seconds, which is an average pace of 2 minutes and 37 seconds per kilometre, or 4 minutes and 13 seconds per mile. Along with these world records, he also broke the 15 km world record back in 2018 with a time of 41 minutes and 5 seconds. At the age of 24 years old, there is still a lot more to come from the Ugandan, who would be expected to be crowned the Olympic champion and possibly break a world record in the summer. Anyway, that's the end of the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, it would be great if you could like and subscribe, and make sure you watch out for these runners at the Olympics.